Enter the world of biblical humanities, where an enriching symphony for the mind, heart, and soul plays at the crossroads of the Bible and the humanities. Greetings, I'm Jessie Lee from the HuBIL Centre in South Korea. Today, we'll delve into the profound themes of dualism and fear as depicted in Demian. Let's start by examining the concept of dualism. Demian's or Pistorius' emphasis on acknowledging both the light and dark aspects of existence, and their reverence for Abraxas, reflects a form of dualism present in various cultures throughout history. Dualism is deeply rooted in Persian Zoroastrianism, also known as Mazdaism, as well as in Manichaeism. Manichaeism, a religious system that emerged in Persia around the 3rd century AD, blends elements of Gnostic Christianity, Buddhism, and Zoroastrianism. Even Augustine, a revered figure in Christianity, was influenced by Manichaeism before converting to Christianity. The term, Manichaean, persists in English to describe a worldview characterized by distinct notions of good and evil. So, how does Christianity intersect with this notion of dualism? C.S. Lewis cautions against a diluted form of Christianity, which he terms Christianity in water. It denotes a simplistic belief system that overlooks concepts such as sin, hell, and redemption in favor of an overly optimistic view of the world. However, Lewis argues that true Christianity embraces a more nuanced understanding of dualism. It acknowledges the undeniable presence of both good and evil in the world. Christianity attributes the existence of evil to a deviation from the original goodness of creation, depicting it as a cosmic struggle. Unlike traditional dualism, which posits a conflict between independent powers, Christianity sees this struggle as a civil war, a rebellion against divine order, wherein humanity finds itself entrenched in a realm ruled by the forces of darkness. Although dualism might be appealing to certain individuals, proposing that if we elevate God, representing goodness and sublimity, we must also revere the devil, it lacks philosophical justification. As C.S. Lewis astutely observes, our classification of things into good and evil implies the existence of a third factor, some law or criterion against which actions are judged. For instance, the universal principle of conscience dictates that aiding the needy is good, while acts like murder or rape are inherently evil. In Demian, Sinclair confronts Demian's embrace of both aspects of existence, asserting, there are genuinely foul and forbidden things, you can't deny that. Demian concedes these limitations, affirming, thou shalt certainly not kill nor rape and kill girls, yet he suggests, what is forbidden, is not permanently so it can change. His response appears contradictory, as he overlooks the inconsistency. If good and evil are assessed by a third criterion, this universal standard derives from a source or its creator beyond mere duality, existing independently. Consequently, evil is not an independent force in opposition to good. Rather, it is a transient rebellion against universal principles upheld by God, the ultimate arbiter. In practical experience, dualism's credibility is undermined. Wrongdoers aren't motivated by pure evil. Rather, they seek inherently positive outcomes like wealth, authority, or gratification. Thus, evil is essentially the misappropriation of good intentions, incapable of existing in isolation. It's not an autonomous force but a perversion of what is inherently good. Evil, symbolized by darkness, is reliant on the presence of light for its existence, indicating its transient and derivative nature. Consequently, dualism appears as an artificial concept when confronted with the complexities of real life. Let's now explore the theme of fear as depicted in Demian. Sinclair's initial encounter with intense emotion occurred when he fell into a trap of fear set by Franz Cromer. Cromer tormented Sinclair initially by menacing to expose his theft of apples to the rightful owner, and subsequently by accusing him of taking money without parental consent. As time passed, Sinclair's transgressions and subsequent distress deepened, prompting him to confess his wrongdoing and articulate a profound sense of fear. Likening his actions to alignment with the devil, my sin was that I was in league with the devil. It's no wonder that this aspect of Sinclair captured Demian's attention. One should never be afraid of any man, Demian asserts, recognizing Sinclair's apprehension. He keenly observes that succumbing to fear grants others power over oneself, ultimately leading to one's downfall. To live authentically, one must completely shed such fears, even advocating for the elimination of the object of fear if necessary. Demian expresses admiration and willingness to assist if Sinclair were to undertake such a courageous act. Yet, Sinclair initially lacks the courage to confront Cromer directly. Instead, Demian's subtle intervention causes Cromer to retreat, no longer exerting control over Sinclair's life. When Sinclair inquires about this change, Demian cryptically explains his actions, suggesting that it benefits both of them for Cromer to cease his harassment. Sinclair never hears Cromer's name again, but Demian reappears later, offering enigmatic counsel as Sinclair recuperates from war injuries. Demian hints at an inner connection, advising Sinclair to seek guidance from within when necessary. Quote, "Listen, young Sinclair, I've got to go. Perhaps you'll need my help against Cromer or something else. If you send a message, I shan't come riding crudely on horseback or by railway train next time. You'll have to listen to your inner voice and then you will hear me speak within you." Unquote. Despite enduring further trials, Sinclair ultimately discovers solace within himself, recognizing my own image which now wholly resembles him, my friend and leader, the poignant concluding line of the novel. Fear isn't just a personal struggle, as Demian highlights in the context of the escalating war between Russia and Germany. The widespread conflict represents a colossal clash between nations, with people fleeing from each other out of sheer fear. A trend Demian predicts will contribute to the world's downfall. Sinclair's journey mirrors this theme. He progresses from being consumed by fear to reaching a point where he takes pride in his newfound fearlessness. As Sinclair matures, his classmates notice and quietly admire his transformation. However, Demian's tender address to Sinclair as "Little Sinclair," amidst the chaos of the battlefield suggests a deeper connection. He urges Sinclair to seek solace within himself, rather than calling out for aid, hinting that Sinclair's inner strength will guide him through daunting challenges. Despite outward displays of fearlessness, living without fear until the end of life remains a daunting task. Sinclair heeds Demian's counsel and discovers a profound sense of liberation within himself. Realizing he is united with his cherished friend and mentor, Demian, an emblem of fearlessness. With this final scene in mind, let's explore how the Bible addresses fear. The Bible depicts fear as closely tied to death. Although fear can initially arise from physical harm, loss of possessions, threats to security, or damage to reputation, at its essence, it reflects a fear of one's own or one's family's mortality, or of being socially excluded. It is upon this underlying fear of death that villains, opportunists, and the embodiment of evil, the devil, have exploited humanity into subservience. This narrative, ancient yet enduring, continues to resonate in contemporary life. Why do we experience such acute anxieties during the COVID pandemic, demonstrate an ardent pursuit of securing luxurious homes, maintain an intense focus on our children's academic achievements and impressive resumes, and indulge in lavish cars and cosmetic enhancements? These phenomena are all fundamentally rooted in our fear of death. The New Testament's book of Hebrews elucidates Jesus' mission to liberate humanity from the bondage of such fears, offering a pathway to transcendent peace and security. Refer to Hebrews chapter 2, verses 14 to 15, therefore. Since the children share in flesh and blood, he himself likewise also partook of the same, that through death he might render powerless him who had the power of death, that is, the devil, and might free those who through fear of death were subject to slavery all their lives. These words express the purpose of Jesus, who created this world, coming to earth as a human and sacrificing himself on the cross. God couldn't bear to see his children, whom he had entrusted to Jesus, living in fear of death and being enslaved by the devil for their entire lives. So, he came to earth to free them. By taking on humanity's sins on the cross and dying in their place, Jesus defeated the devil, who has power over death. Thus, the key to overcoming fear in this world is to dread or revere Jesus. No other person in history has conquered death, the origin of fear, through resurrection, and defeated the devil. Who has used death to control us, except Jesus? Release all misconceptions about Jesus, and approach him with an open mind by studying the Bible, especially the New Testament, which is the most trustworthy literary work in the world in terms of the quantity and content of its manuscripts. Fear cannot be overcome by personal strength or the false belief that one can conquer it. This is merely self-deception. The solution lies in addressing the problem of death, which is the root cause of fear. This mirrors Sinclair's freedom from fear upon recognizing his unity with Demian, whom he saw as his friend and mentor. Similarly, we too can achieve complete freedom from fear by uniting with our eternal friend and Savior, Jesus Christ. Thank you for delving into the profound themes of dualism and fear depicted in Demian. I hope it has provided you with enlightenment. Until we meet again.